from the News Channel 5 Network. This is Que-pasa-Nashville.
Bienvenidos and welcome to Que-pasa-Nashville. My name is Christina Allen and thank you for joining me. I'm excited to have Sue Forthwhite, the Executive Director of Our Kids. Thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Well, I was excited when I find new nonprofits, well, I find it, you might be doing it for a while, really understanding your mission and understanding expanding the mission to our new communities that have evolved in Middle Tennessee.
Yes.
So tell me a little bit, what is Our Kids?
Our Kids is a nonprofit. We are an outpatient clinic of Nashville General Hospital, and we provide forensic medical evaluations and crisis counseling in response to child sexual abuse.
And everyone hates hearing that word.
I know.
It's a scary word. I have 3 children. So we know the statistics are pretty strong. What are some of the statistics?
So 1 in 4 girls and 1 in 7 boys will experience some form of child sexual abuse by the time they reach age 18. And I think that what's really important about the issue of child sexual abuse is that it's very underreported. It's one of the most underreported crimes there is.
And so because it's underreported, and we're going to come back to that, is those that do report it, are reported by whom? The family members? I mean, teachers? How do you get these people to come out and not only seek help, but or understand why the importance of it is?
There are lots of ways that the child and family comes to us. Sometimes the actual assault is interrupted, or the child will come to a trusted family member or a teacher and disclose that something has happened. There are lots of things, lots of ways that happens. Our referrals mostly come from the Department of Children's Services, from very concerned family members. Sometimes they come from law enforcement and schools, and sometimes doctors.
And let's be realistic. It goes across all financial, cultural. Yes. I mean, is that true?
Yes. I would say that child sexual abuse unfortunately affects every single demographic, every single culture, religion, race, socioeconomic level. I mean,
and I know in reading, I went through your website, and I think one of the most statistics that scared me the most is 95% is usually crime is committed by someone they know.
Yes.
I mean, that I think is an eye-opener to understand it's not secretly done and no one knows what's going on. It's someone they know.
It's very jarring. So every year Our Kids evaluates between 850 and 900 children, which makes us one of the largest child sexual abuse clinics in the nation. So out of that number, let's just take 850. 95% of the time, the accused perpetrator is someone that's known and trusted by the family, and sometimes even loved.
And is that why it's hard for them to report it?
You know, it is one of the reasons why it makes child sexual abuse so complex and such a difficult issue, because you know, I mean, the non-offending caregiver that brings the child in, I mean, the level of distress that the caregiver often feels is just terrible, because she's thinking, and most of the time the non-offending caregiver is the mother, the aunt, the grandmother, but they're thinking, I should have protected my child. How did I not see it? Well, why would you ever think that your father or your brother or your, you know, or your new husband that you think you're starting your life over with, why would you ever think that they would do such a thing to your 5-year-old, your 7-year-old? And that's another thing that's so jarring. Out of our patient volume, you know, over 65% of those children are 7 years of age and younger. You know, so it's unthinkable.
I think recently, recently in the news, you find more and more, you know, older people, you know, whether they're not as careful, but it just seems that every day in the news there is a case being of this happening, and you know, right in our backyard. And I think having Our Kids being able to, so let's talk about what happens. You evaluate the situation more socially, like a social work or psychological?
So I will say a little bit about that, and I want the Our Kids clinical team members
we're going to bring in some new people,
to really be the ones that speak to that. It is a multidisciplinary approach. And so it's nurse practitioners and social workers that work as a team with every child and every family member. And I think that before I get off on that, I wanted to also say we serve 47 counties.
47, oh wow.
In Middle Tennessee, we have 4 satellite clinics that each meet 2 times a month, and they're in Cookeville, Lawrenceburg, Clarksville, and Manchester, so that the children that are in really remote, underserved communities still have access to the very best and most compassionate medical care, but also the mental health component.
So with this growth of all these counties and your 4 satellite offices, do you seek volunteers, and if so, or is it more the professional need that you are looking to help you in these outerline markets?
So because we work so closely with law enforcement from all of those jurisdictions, the district attorneys, the DCS workers, I mean the child advocacy centers, all of these community partners work with us. We are part of this incredible team that are tasked to care for the children and be a part of the investigative process.
So it's a collaborative effort for the success of the child, and so they are your kind of volunteers, or your ears out there as well.
And I think that I'm really proud. I've been at Our Kids for a little over 9 years. The whole time I've been there, we have always, compassionate response is one of the core principles and values of Our Kids, and we're 28 years old. I mean, we've been doing this for a long time. We've evaluated probably over 23,000 children in that time. What is really important to me is that we looked at the changing demographic of Nashville, and we looked at all the Spanish-speaking families, and we said, we need to build our capacity to communicate and to provide them as compassionate a response as possible.
And that was my next question. I know you, and going to your website and knowing I was going to interview you, you have a lot of stuff in Spanish. Thank you.
And we're doing more and more. Like all the time, we're trying to get more and more documents in Spanish. We're trying to do more and more outreach. It is really important for the community, all the community, but especially the Spanish-speaking families, to know Our Kids is a safe place. We dignify and respect each and every child and family. They are safe coming to us. There is no cost for our services. This is a very technical subspecialty medical clinic.
But you also, we're going to talk to them, you have bilingual workers and bicultural workers, which allows them to feel comfortable in their own language to share this stuff, and that's important. And what about those that don't speak Spanish in our new immigrant community? You have a lot of cultural traditions that happen in their countries, and they come to the United States, and some of them are still practiced. Are you able to reach out to them as well with some capacity?
Yes, I mean, I think that we are there for each and every family and child that needs our specific services. If there are allegations or concerns of child sexual abuse, we will be there for that family. We will go to any means necessary to communicate and to accommodate for language and for all manner of issues or challenges that the child or the family brings to us.
And before we bring up our other guests that are our social worker and our nurse practitioner that works with Our Kids, with this increased marketing of your bilingual services, are you getting more bilingual children?
Yes.
Which is the scary part, yes.
But, you know, and I want to say, I think what I love about Our Kids so much is that when the child and caregiver come to us, the abuse is stopped, and the child is protected, and you know, there is an opportunity for the child to hear the message, this is not your fault, you've done nothing wrong, and for the caregiver to be affirmed in what they're doing right. To say, you're resilient and your child is resilient, and you know, your child is not defined by this sexual assault, you know, and helping the caregiver reboot and to recalibrate and to consider the strengths of their child and also themselves.
And there is resilience in children.
There is, and then we do a full assessment of, you know, what else is going on in the family. You know, and I think what's so powerful about Our Kids is that people come there, it's not a 20-minute medical transaction, Christina. It is a time where the caregiver can really tell their story. They can, because we want to know, what are you afraid of? What are you upset about? What are you confused about?
Because they might need the counseling as well.
Absolutely, absolutely. And so a lot of times the caregiver will look at the social worker and say, no one's ever taken the time to listen to my story. You've dignified me.
And I think that's the key word, dignified. So we're going to take a quick break with Sue, and we're going to come back with additional people from our kids to talk about the bilingual and bicultural outreach and what that means for Middle Tennessee and our children. We'll be right back.